सो इन दिस वीडियो हम लोग विटामिन ए के बारे में पढ़ने जा रहे हैं कि विटामिन ए होता क्या है, विटामिन ए केमिकली क्या कहलाता है, विटामिन ए बॉडी में कहाँ कहाँ रिक्वायर्ड होता है, इसकी रिक्वायर्ड डाइटरी अलाउंस कितनी है, विटामिन ए की डेफिशिएंसी से क्या होता है और क्या इस विटामिन की टॉक्सिसिटी हो सकती भी है या नहीं। तो आजकल आप लोगों ने रेटिनॉल या फिर ट्रेटिनॉइन के बारे में तो काफ़ी सुना होगा। ये काफ़ी पॉपुलर स्किन केयर प्रोडक्ट्स हैं। इनमें से एक ओवर द काउंटर मिलने वाला सीरम है जिसको लोग बहुत कॉमनली यूज़ करते हैं एज एन एंटी रिंकल एजेंट। दूसरा है ट्रेटिनॉइन विच इज़ अगेन अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ड्रग दैट इज़ यूज्ड फॉर स्कारिंग एक्ने। सो ये दो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोडक्ट्स हैं विच आर नथिंग बट डेरिवेटिव्स ऑफ विटामिन ए and they also point to the fact that how vitamin A is required for the healthy epithelium all over our body. So ये एक क्लिनिकल विनेट था जो आपकी इंटरेस्ट इंक्रीज करने के लिए था। इसके साथ हम आगे मूव करते हैं टू स्टार्ट नोइंग अबाउट द केमिस्ट्री ऑफ विटामिन ए। विटामिन ए एक्चुअली में एक सिंगल कंपाउंड नहीं है, इट बिलोंग्स टू अ ग्रुप और अ फैमिली ऑफ कंपाउंड्स एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड एज रेटिनॉइड फैमिली। रेटिनॉइड फैमिली एक कॉमन स्ट्रक्चर रखते हैं और इनका जो फंक्शनल ग्रुप होता है वो चेंज हो सकता है। अगर ये अल्कोहल होता है तो इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज अ रेटिनॉल। अगर एक एल्डिहाइड होता है देन इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज रेटिनल। इफ इट इज़ अ कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज रेटिनोइक एसिड। विटामिन ए जो स्ट्रक्चर होता है इनका, इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ टू इंपॉर्टेंट हाइड्रोकार्बन चेन्स। वन इज अ साइक्लिक हाइड्रोकार्बन चेन विच इज कॉल्ड एज अ बीटा आयोनोन रिंग। दिस साइक्लिक स्ट्रक्चर, this is the one that I am talking about, this is called as a beta ionion ring। और जो ये हाइड्रोकार्बन चेन से कनेक्टेड होती है ये कहलाती है आइसोप्रीनाइल चेन। और इस वजह से रेटिनॉइड्स को हम बीटा आयोनेटेड आइसोप्रीनाइल हाइड्रोकार्बन्स भी कहलाते हैं। इसके अलावा हमने ये भी सुना है कि कैरेट्स आर अ वेरी गुड सोर्स ऑफ विटामिन ए टू सच पॉइंट कि एक्चुअली में अगर वेजिटेरियंस के लिए बात करें या फिर प्लांट सोर्स की बात करें तो कैरेट्स आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एंड बेस्ट सोर्स ऑफ विटामिन ए। लेकिन उनके अंदर विटामिन ए नहीं होता, दे हैव अ ग्रुप ऑफ कंपाउंड विच आर कॉल्ड एज कैरोटीन्स। कैरोटीन्स बिलोंग टू अनदर फैमिली ऑफ प्लांट पिगमेंट्स कॉल्ड एज कैरोटेनॉइड्स। देयर आर थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ कैरोटीन्स, वी हैव अल्फा कैरोटीन, बीटा कैरोटीन एंड लाइकोपीन also called as gamma carotene. These carotenes are precursors of vitamin A. As you can see the structure of beta carotene, when it is broken into two pieces, it gives rise to two molecules of retinol, and this is how our body derives its vitamin A from carrot. There is alpha carotene as well. Alpha carotene upon processing gives rise to one molecule of retinol only. We all know that vitamin A is a fat soluble vitamin belonging to entire group of vitamin A, D, E and K. So इसका जितना भी डाइटरी एब्जॉर्प्शन होने वाला है दैट इज गोइंग टू बी अलॉन्ग विद फैट। एनी डिजीज, any pathology which will cause fat malabsorption will also cause deficiency of vitamin A. विटामिन ए बॉडी में बीटा कैरोटीन की फॉर्म में आ सकता है या फिर रेटिनाइल एस्टर्स की फॉर्म में आता है। सो रेटिनाइल एस्टर्स हमको यूजली नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड से मिलते हैं जो एनिमल्स की बॉडी में स्टोर्ड विटामिन ए होता है, और या फिर बीटा कैरोटीन मिल सकता है। इन बोथ द वे बीटा कैरोटीन कैन बी डायरेक्टली एब्जॉर्ब्ड एंड रेटिनाइल एस्टर्स आर कन्वर्टेड इनटू रेटिनॉल बाय द ब्रश बॉर्डर एपिथेलियम ऑफ स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन। Beta carotene in the brush border cells of small intestine, it is converted into retinol, and retinol is converted into retinyl esters. These are incorporated into chylomicrons, and then chylomicrons are the one which is transported through the blood to the liver. In the liver there are receptors for chylomicron as we have studied in lipid metabolism. Retinyl esters in the liver are again broken down into retinol. Now liver hence is the largest storehouse of vitamin A in the body of all the mammals. From here is the retinol that is transported to different target tissues. And how that happens, let us see. So retinol is conjugated with retinol binding protein, and then retinol binding protein and retinol they combine with transthyretin. So this transporting form of vitamin A forms what we call as a trimolecular complex consisting of vitamin A, retinol and transthyretin. Transthyretin is also called as proalbumin. Then this entire complex goes to a target tissue. They bind to a specific receptor. Now this receptor is not the one that causes the intake of vitamin A. It simply causes dissociation of vitamin A from the trimolecular complex. We already know that vitamin A is a fat soluble vitamin, so it do not require a carrier for its entry into the cell. It directly enters the cell. After entering the cell, vitamin A binds to what we call as cellular retinoic acid binding proteins or CRBP. After binding to CRBP, it enters the nucleus where there are certain receptors that we are going to talk in the later part of the video. After binding to receptors, it binds to hormone receptive elements, which are also called as RARE or rare, that is retinoic acid responsive elements of DNA, to cause transcription, inhibition of different type of genes, and this summarizes the mechanism of action. हम mechanism of action को वीडियो में आगे डिटेल में भी पढ़ेंगे. So this summarizes that about the chemistry of vitamin A, that it is a fat soluble vitamin. It is derived from carotenoids, which are examples of plant pigments, to be specific from carotenes. After being derived from carotenes, in our body, vitamin A exists in three important forms. One is in alcohol called as retinol, one in the form of an aldehyde called as retinol, and one in the form of a carboxylic acid, that is retinoic acid. Out of which, if we look at the therapeutic efficacy of these three compounds, retinoic acid has the highest efficacy. Then it is retinol, and then it is retinol. Now coming to the different sources of vitamin A. So as you can see on your screen, there are different forms of vitamin A being listed over here. So the principal form of vitamin A that we get from animal sources is retinol. A retinol is formed in the human, it is derived from retinol and it is formed in the body. While retinoic acid is the biochemically active form of vitamin A that is synthesized locally in the target tissues. Retinyl esters is a storage form of vitamin A, and it is the principal form that is found inside the liver. Beta carotene is nothing but it is provitamin A. And all of these forms are called as vitamin A1 because these are the ones that are formed in terrestrial animals, humans and mammals. There is another form of vitamin A2 which is a dehydrogenated version of vitamin A1. Basically, in the above structure as you have seen, if we add one more double bond by removing two hydrogen atoms, it will become a dehydrogenated form of vitamin A, and that is called as vitamin A2, which is important for amphibians, freshwater fishes, and it is much more of a marine vitamin. It is less potent and it is not of much clinical significance in case of humans. So to summarize, retinol is the most important form of vitamin A that we get from diet. Retinol, it is derived from retinol and it is required for visual cycle. Retinoic acid, it is the biochemically active form. And retinyl esters, it is the storage form. And beta carotene is provitamin A because it is converted into vitamin A after processing at the brush border of intestinal mucosa. Now let us look at the different functions of all of these vitamins. So the most biochemically active form of vitamin A is retinoic acid, and it is also the most interesting component of all. It is the most versatile component because it is required for so many of the functions. So let us first of all mention all the functions that we can look at how it happens. So one of the most important functions of vitamin A, principally retinoic acid, is embryonic development and morphogenesis. It is responsible for formation of embryonal axis and organogenesis, especially of internal organs. It is also required for cellular differentiation and proliferation. It also has a role in immune system modulation because it promotes the generation of T regulatory cells. And hence it promotes immunoregulation and modulation. It is a chief vitamin for epithelial repair of skin, cornea and glandular epithelium all over the body. It also has a role in metabolic regulation, especially in lipid metabolism, and the most important pathway regarding that is RXR PPAR gamma pathway. So here RXR is a receptor of vitamin A which we are going to learn later on. It also has a role in neurological functions, promotes neural plasticity and neural protection, and the pathway involved is RXR LXR pathway. So we have already seen कि vitamin A के multiple functions हैं, पर ये ऐसा करता कैसे है? तो मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन समझने के लिए हमें इसके रिसेप्टर्स के बारे में जानना पड़ेगा. सो विटामिन ए हैज़ न्यूक्लियर रिसेप्टर्स और दो इंपॉर्टेंट रिसेप्टर्स हैं. पहला है RAR, ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज रेटिनोइक एसिड रिसेप्टर्स. देन वी हैव RXR और रेटिनॉइड X रिसेप्टर्स. और इन दो रिसेप्टर्स पे विटामिन ए दो फॉर्म में एक्ट कर सकता है. पहला फॉर्म इज कॉल्ड एज ऑल ट्रांस रेटिनोइक एसिड और ATRA, और दूसरा होता है 11 सिस रेटिनोइक एसिड. ये दोनों एक दूसरे के आइसोमर्स हैं. और जो रेटिनोइक एसिड रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं इस पे ऑल ट्रांस रेटिनोइक एसिड और 11 सिस रेटिनोइक एसिड दोनों ही एक्ट कर सकते हैं, जबकि रेटिनोइक एसिड X रिसेप्टर जो RXR रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं इस पे सिर्फ ऑल ट्रांस रेटिनोइक एसिड ही काम करता है. अब हम RAR रिसेप्टर्स के बारे में जानते हैं कि RAR रिसेप्टर्स 3 तरह के होते हैं: RAR अल्फा, RAR बीटा और RAR गामा. ये एक टिपिकल न्यूक्लियर रिसेप्टर्स का एग्जाम्पल होते हैं, इसलिए इनके अंदर 3 साइट्स होती हैं. पहली बात तो एक तो इनके अंदर एक सेल्फ बाइंडिंग साइट होती है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एन RXR बाइंडिंग साइट, देन रेटिनोइक एसिड बाइंडिंग साइट एंड अ DNA बाइंडिंग साइट। सो जो रेटिनोइक एसिड रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं, ये रेयरली, ये इनका मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन ऐसे होता है कि जब हमारे पास रेटिनॉल सेल में एंटर किया, सो इट इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू रेटिनोइक एसिड, दैट कुड बी 11-cis रेटिनोइक एसिड और ऑल ट्रांस रेटिनोइक एसिड, बिकॉज वी नो दैट रेटिनोइक एसिड इज अ बायोकेमिकली एक्टिव फॉर्म ऑफ विटामिन A. After entering the cell, it binds to CRABP, that is called as cellular retinoic acid binding protein. And after binding to cellular retinoic acid binding protein, it enters into the nucleus. In the nucleus, there are these nuclear receptors. जो रेटिनोइक एसिड रिसेप्टर्स हैं, RAR रिसेप्टर्स हैं, ये रेयरली होमोडाइमराइज करते हैं, ये यूजली हेट्रोडाइमराइजेशन के थ्रू काम करते हैं, एंड दे कंबाइन विद RXR रिसेप्टर्स. After combining with RXR receptors, they bind with co-activators, they bind with vitamin A, and they attach on RARE, also called as retinoic acid responsive elements, to initiate transcription. And hence, this is the mechanism of action of vitamin A for the different functions that we have discussed above. Now let us move on to the next family of receptors, that is RXR receptors. Retinoic acid X receptor is the most versatile of all receptors of vitamin A because it can both heterodimerize, it can homodimerize as well. What is the meaning of that? So we see that RAR receptors need to combine with RXR receptors to do their specific function, but that is not the same with RXR receptors. RXR receptors, they can combine with themselves, they can combine with RAR receptors, they can even combine with receptors of other families. They can combine with PPAR receptors, also called as peroxisomal proliferation activator receptors. They combine with vitamin D receptors so as to modulate their function, and hence they are quite versatile receptors, which also indicate the role of vitamin A in different biochemical functions all over the body. So this was regarding how vitamin A actually functions. Now let us move on to a very important role of vitamin A that is in the body is regarding the visual cycle. Because when we think about vitamin A, the very important thing that comes to our mind is the night blindness, also called as nyctalopia, that happens due to deficiency of vitamin A. So to understand it, so let us look at the cross section of retina. So this is a schematic diagram of retina, and it shows the direction of light that is coming from above. As you can see, there are different cell layers, but what we have to focus is this last photoreceptor cell layer. We have two different types of photoreceptors. One is a rod cell and another is cone cell. Rod cells are responsible for what we call as the black and white vision, while the cone are responsible for the color vision. So how this functions was quite a mystery before it was elucidated by Waltz, and for that reason we learn about what we call as Waltz visual cycle. So what actually happens? These are nothing but photoreceptors. You have already studied in physiology that when there is dark and no light is falling on the retina, there is something called as dark current. Dark current continuously fires an action potential that causes the release of glutamate neurotransmitter to the bipolar cell, causing its inhibition, and no neural impulse is forwarded to the brain. लेकिन जैसे ही लाइट पड़ती है फोटोरिसेप्टर पे, there is initiation of an action potential, and this action potential causes inhibition of the voltage gated channels, and no neurotransmitter is released, which causes the activation of bipolar cells, and this activated bipolar cells send a signal to the brain, and this is what we perceive as vision. But this is not something that we have to study. In biochemistry, we need to study about the next part, about what actually happens before the action potential is generated. So basically, when the photon excites the pigment, so this R stands for rhodopsin. It is the visual pigment of rods, and similarly cones also have a visual pigment that is called as conopsin. Photon carries certain amount of energy, and that causes it to convert into an excited stage, that is R star. And this energy is used to activate, it is used to convert transducin. This is transducin. So basically, these photopigments are coupled with GPCRs, and these are associated with transducin. Transducin is activated. Activated transducin in turn activates another enzyme that is called as phosphodiesterase. Activated phosphodiesterase is responsible for degradation of cyclic GMP, and absence of cyclic GMP causes inhibition of cyclic GMP gated cation channels. This causes inhibition of dark current. Inhibition of dark current causes inhibition of neurotransmitter release at the junction of photoreceptor and bipolar cells. As a result, inhibition of bipolar cells is rifted, and they send a signal which we perceive as vision. In biochemistry, what we need to see actually is what is actually happening at this part. And the entire Wald's visual cycle is concerned with this step in the phototransduction. So let us look at what it is. So rhodopsin is the principal visual pigment. When light hits, it undergoes what we call as visual excitation, as we saw, to convert it into its excited state. In its excited state, it goes through a series of chemical reactions, and this process is called as photobleaching. Rhodopsin is converted into bedorhodopsin, then it is converted into lumirhodopsin, metarhodopsin 1, 2 and metarhodopsin 3. And in this process, it breaks into all transretinal and opsin. Opsin is the proteinaceous part and all transretinal is the retinoid compound that we were looking at. This separated opsin is now called as apoopsin. Now coming back to the above image, this all transretinal, it enters the retinal epithelium, and here lies a very important isomerase, that is retinal isomerase, that converts the transretinal into cisretinal. It is again transported back to the cones or rods, where it is again combined with opsin to convert into rhodopsin. This transretinal can also be transported to liver through blood, where it is first converted into transretinol, then to cisretinol and cisretinal. And you can already see the enzymes that is responsible. It is alcohol dehydrogenase, which converts the alcohol form of retinoic acid to basically its aldehyde form. Then aldehyde form is transported back for the function of vision. This summarizes the Wald's visual cycle, and it is the most important function of vitamin A. Now moving on to the different problems that can occur due to the deficiency of vitamin A. As we have seen that this vitamin A has a very important role in vision. So deficiency of vitamin A can cause multiple ocular manifestations. उनमें से पहला मैनिफेस्टेशन तो हो सकता है डायरेक्ट डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ रेटिनल के थ्रू, कि अगर विटामिन ए डाइटरी सोर्स में कम है तो वी वुड हैव डिक्रीज अमाउंट ऑफ रेटिनल, और डिक्रीज अमाउंट ऑफ रेटिनल की वजह से देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ डिजीज दैट वी कॉल्ड एज निक्टोलोपिया और नाइट ब्लाइंडनेस. अदर देन दैट, we already studied that retinoic acid is responsible for epithelial turnover, epithelial maintenance, and hence deficiency of vitamin A can cause dysregulated epithelial turnover, which manifests itself as what we call as xerophthalmia spectrum. xerophthalmia में बेसिकली जो आई की कॉर्नियल एपिथीलियम होती है वो सही से मेंटेन नहीं हो पाती. So it is associated with dryness of the eye, followed by development of an ulcer and scarring of the cornea, and this is called as keratomalacia spectrum. So this is a WHO classification of xerophthalmia spectrum. It starts with nyctalopia, also called as XN. These are codes which have been designated by WHO. And night blindness is due to deficiency of vitamin A pigments in the retina, while all of the other symptoms like conjunctival xerosis, bite dot spots, corneal xerosis, ulceration and scar is due to defective epithelial turnover. It is due to deficiency of retinoic acid. As you can see in this image, bite dot spots are the hallmarks of vitamin A deficiency in the eye. These are form of these white scaly plaques that can be seen on the cornea. Then this is corneal xerosis, and you can see an ulcer that is right present over here, which is responsible for loss of vision of so many people. This state till corneal xerosis is reversible. So conjunctival xerosis is reversible, corneal xerosis is reversible. But when it progresses to bite dot spots, it cannot be reversed medically and surgical intervention is required. The state of night blindness is also reversible after supplementation of vitamin A. So this completes basically one of the important deficiency that is associated with vitamin A. Moving on to the another deficiency symptom that we see with vitamin A, that is called as rhinoderma. So rhinoderma is nothing but follicular hyperkeratosis. हमने ये देख ही लिया था कि विटामिन ए जो होता है दैट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड फॉर एपिथेलियल टर्नओवर. तो अगर विटामिन ए डेफिशिएंसी हो जाती है तो जो हमारी स्किन होती है दैट कंसिस्ट ऑफ केराटिनाइज्ड स्ट्रैटिफाइड स्क्वैमस एपिथेलियम, इसका टर्नओवर डिसरेगुलेटेड हो जाता है एंड वी टेंड टू सी दिस मैनिफेस्टेशन. एंड व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज rhinoderma? It is called as rhinoderma because it looks very similar to toad skin. As you can see the image of this toad, also called as the Indian toad, it is quite similar and hence it is also called as rhinoderma. There are multiple other symptoms of vitamin A deficiency which can also involve basically failure of skeletal growth, because vitamin A is also required for skeletal growth by synthesis of chondroitin sulfate. Deficiency of vitamin A can also cause exacerbation of acne in acne prone individuals. But the two major deficiency symptoms of vitamin A are related to vision and related to the skin and epithelium all over the body. But since it is a fat soluble vitamin, vitamin A can also cause toxicity if it is consumed in large amounts, either by deliberation or by accidents. The most common populations that are affected by this toxicity are actually children, because they might be intaking a lot of vitamin A and the liver is not yet mature to deal with this. So as you can see that 1 tablespoon of ghee contains about 40% of the daily allowance of vitamin A. This do proves that ghee is a very good source of vitamin A, but if you intake a large amount, it can actually cause toxicity. Another very important source of vitamin A is mammalian liver. It could be liver of any it can be mammal, and it has a very high concentration, and it is the most common cause of acute vitamin A toxicity. There were many reports of vitamin A toxicity in Arctic explorers when they actually consumed polar bear meat. Polar bear meat, especially liver, is actually highly toxic to humans because of high concentration of vitamin A. So what are different symptoms of vitamin A toxicity? Vitamin A toxicity presents with a very important clinical finding, that is hepatomegaly. Because to store excess vitamin A, there is hyperplasia in the hepatocytes, and that manifests as hepatomegaly. Other than that, the acute symptoms could be due to increased, they are manifestations of increased intracranial tension, and they mimic pseudotumor cerebri. Chronic symptoms are quite different. If there is chronic vitamin A toxicity, it involves bony exhaustion, fatigue, weakness, quite generalized in nature. They are not very specific. But what we need to know that what is the daily requirement of vitamin A. So for case of children, children have an RDA of 400 to 600 micrograms each day. Adult men, they have a requirement of 750 to 1000 microgram each day. In pregnancy, it actually, so a normal female would be having around 750 microgram each day, while this requirement becomes more when the female gets pregnant, and in pregnancy it increases to about 1000 microgram per day. A very important point here to make, that even though the RDA in pregnancy increases, various drugs that we discussed above like tretinoin, these are actually teratogenic, and hence these are drugs which are not given at all in pregnancy, and when they're given in pregnancy they can cause teratogenic reactions with the fetus. So to summarize, vitamin A is a fat soluble vitamin. Any disease that will cause malabsorption of fat will cause vitamin A deficiency. Vitamin A deficiency can manifest in different forms, causing night blindness, that is nyctalopia. It can cause epithelial dysregulation, causing corneal scar, corneal dryness, corneal ulcer. It can also exacerbate the acne. Other than that, vitamin A in the human body occurs in 3 different forms, that is retinol, retinal, and retinoic acid, and we have already discussed their mechanisms, which is through nuclear receptors. We also discussed that how vitamin A toxicity can occur. It could be an acute toxicity or it could be a chronic toxicity. Chronic toxicity is more or less vague. Symptoms are not very specific, but acute toxicity can present with features of increased intracranial tension, pseudotumor cerebri, and hepatomegaly. So this ends our video, which actually is not a detailed video, but it basically gives you an idea that what we have to study about vitamin A